Who's first?
Mr. Michael Mancuso, white male, 43, married, 2 children. He's a civil service worker.
Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Karen, put that light on that card, will you? I want to make sure every detail's clearly seen.
Ready to go here, Professor.
Uh-huh. Well, send in Mr. Mancuso.
Send in Mr. Mancuso, please.
You know, I've got butterflies, sort of. Isn't that silly?
Possessed by science, how nice.
Excuse me, Professor. Mr. Mancuso, Professor Turner.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Professor.
Pleasure, man. Please sit. I want to thank you very much for volunteering to help us this way.
Well, I saw the letter at the bulletin board in my office. I figured it might be interesting. I try to keep myself interested in things. My wife and I come to see plays at the university here.
Good. You signed our little form pledging to keep this proceedings confidential.
Oh, yeah?
Well, what we're going to do here today is really quite simple, Mr. Mancuso. I'm going to explain something to you, and then I'm going to ask you a series of questions about it.
Shoot.
What I'm going to describe for you is a hypothetical situation.
Right.
This hypothetical experiment concerns itself with learning. That is, we're going to ask the question, can you make someone learn something by punishing them?
When I was a kid, if I didn't do something right, my father would take his belt off, you know?
Well, yes. He probably gave you a few licks for your own good.
But after a while, he just had to undo the buckle. I ran in and did my homework.
Well, then you know what we're trying to do.
Oh, yeah.
Let's say 2 people volunteer for this experiment. You and Mr. X. And you become what we'll call the teacher. Mr. X becomes what we'll call the learner. What happens next is this. Mr. X is taken into this little room here and seated in this little chair here.
What are those wires?
I'll get to that in a moment. Mr. X has a microphone in front of him for emergency communication and a buzzer, which he presses, that sends back certain signals, like here, to you in the control room, where you are as the teacher. Got that so far?
Yeah, he's in there, in the chair with the buzzer, and I'm in here. What's the machine?
In a moment. What happens next in our imaginary setup is this. You're given a list of words to read to Mr. X in his little room over the microphone. An adjective and a noun. Let's say big car, for example. Pretty shoes.
Pairs.
Pairs. You read him 4 pairs of words, one after the other. Then you go back and you read him an adjective. And he's supposed to remember what noun that's paired with and signal you with the buzzer.
Got it.
Ah. You want to know about that machine? This is a drawing of an electric shock generator. It makes electric shocks. And as you can see, it has 25 switches here. And each switch applies a little more voltage. That is a stronger and stronger shock. And it applies these shocks in increments from the first switch to the last, this yellow one here.
That says extremely high voltage, danger. I don't get it.
Well, the shock generator is connected up with the chair with the learner in it. And you're at the controls of the generator.
Huh?
It's quite simple. If the learner buzzes back the incorrect choice, you press switch number 1.
I give him an electric shock.
Yeah, it's true. It's like your father's strap. It's a very low 18 volts. Lasts 3 seconds and cuts off automatically. It would gently prod him, hopefully, into remembering the right answer. And if that happens, then you go on to the next set of word pairs.
I see. But what if he gets that pair wrong again?
Then you go to switch number 2, a slightly stronger shock.
Yeah. How hot would that last one be?
450 volts. Now for the question. And I want you to give me as honest an answer as you can. Knowing the hypothetical plan, how would you approach this experience? How far would you be willing to go to teach the learner?
How far would I go?
Yes, how many switches would you be willing to pull to get the desired result?
I don't know. I think I might go along with shocking the guy a little. A couple of times, maybe 3 or 4, 5. You know? But if he kept being wrong and was dumb maybe, and I could see he's in trouble and I'm going to really have to sock it to him, I couldn't do that to some guy I don't even know, a perfect stranger.
You're absolutely sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Top switch 6, 7, but any more?
You're saying that you would disobey the experiment controller at some point. You'd just disobey him well before the last switch. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Oh, keep this in mind. You both volunteered for this experiment. He knew that there was a certain degree of punishment involved. If you quit before the end, you'd be sabotaging the work. You'd have committed to a job, and you'd be letting us down.
Well, I'm not usually that way. I finish what I start, generally, you know what I mean? I don't like people who quit in the middle, and I'd be sorry to do that, but the way you've got this set up, I mean, hurting the man that much and all, I just can't see it. I wouldn't go for it all the way, and I'd be sorry, too, but I, just like you say, disobey.
What did you say? The learner in that room might actually complain to me?
Well, if we follow the logic through, Mrs. Carroll, and the learner does have means of communication possible to him, he might at some point feed back a complaint about pain or discomfort, some such thing.
Professor or no professor, let me tell you this. I hear that person saying that I'm hurting him in any way, and I'm through.
You expected the pain, remember?
Never. I can't stand to hurt. Even a fly. I hear a cat wailing, I go the other way. Now, I'm not saying that I wouldn't take a few first steps to cooperate, but more, the idea turns my stomach.
No matter what the experimenter said?
No matter what he said or did. As soon as I heard someone say I was hurting him, I'd walk right out of that room.
Nothing, no way, man. I don't go with any kind of force, any kind of violence. I don't believe you can learn through punishment anyway. As soon as you tell me what I'm into, I won't. Man, you're giving me the creeps.